Here's the snap, handoff. Carlos goes over the top. Touchdown to FSU. Carlos goes airborne. No denying the drive engineered by famous Jameis Winston, and Carlos takes it to the paint. Noles lead for the first time in the game. It's 30-27. Carlos Williams scoring a touchdown, and that caps the opening drive of the third quarter. What a drive that was. Jameis was 7 of 7 in that drive. We sort of made a statement in that drive, didn't we, Coach?
Yeah, we did. I mean, got back going and got in a rhythm and kind of just got it rolling. And that's kind of what you got to get to.
75-yard drive, 4 minutes and a second, brought to you by Napleton Infinity of Tallahassee. One of the big drives, one of the big touchdowns in the battle of top 5 ranked teams, Florida State versus Notre Dame. Welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher call-in show. We are live at the 4 Points by Sheraton, downtown Tallahassee. We got a great crowd here tonight. It always is, Coach, and we learn more about the Florida State Seminoles on Wednesday night than any other time of the year. And I know fans here and those listening and watching on ABC 27 appreciate you in your call-in show on Wednesday night.
I appreciate them being so supportive and what we've got here, that's for sure.
And I lead into this programming note on that note, Coach. If you want to learn more about Florida State football, don't wait till Wednesday night next week. It's going to be moved to Monday night because we play on Thursday. Got to travel on Tuesday night. So the show next week will be Monday night here at the 4 Points by Sheraton. Bob, you make a note of that, okay? We want to see you here, right here. That's your seat every week. But next week for viewers on ABC 27 and listeners on the Seminole IMG Network, the Jimbo Fisher call-in show will be next Monday. We got that? Okay, we got it. Now, let's get back to the phone calls and talk to Bubba. And he's here on a Wednesday night. Bubba, it's Monday night next week. You're on the air with Jimbo. Go ahead.
Jimbo Nation.
Bubba, how you doing, boy?
Good, Coach. Quick comment and question. Comments, I get tired of hearing about the SEC. Last I remember, we beat them for the national championship.
Agreed.
And the question is, do you feel like our offensive line is getting a little bit closer to getting our running game cranked up? Thank you.
Well, you know, we had the running game going for a couple games, and I'm going to tell you, and I know it sounds like we were inches at times from having some really nice runs in that game. I'm literally grabbed by a shoestring on 2 times on a zone play, popped a power up. The disappointing one was at the end. We had them set up, and we just didn't get it done, and had a couple critical mistakes, and we had them where we wanted the looks we had. But the key part in that game, though, the second half, when we got in rhythm thrown, second half we ran the ball well. We didn't run it a lot, but we ran it very effectively. Picked up first downs, ran it on the goal line extremely well, ran it 2 or 3 times. Jameis checked out. We had about 6. He ran a stretch play about 4 times, and we popped out there a couple times. And we're able to run it effectively, except for that last drive, like we really wanted to run it. But once we got him in a rhythm in that second half, and we got hot, and we were seeing the blitzes up front. And the key was, like the first half, we weren't putting a hat on a hat in the blitzes, and they were coming. We were leaving one guy free. And once we cured that problem, we got hot and we started moving it. And then we wanted to keep the ball in his hand because he was on fire. And we ran it at times, but we ran it very effectively in the second half. But I think we were, and we're going to continue to work on it, I promise.
All right, Bubba from Tallahassee. Let's head to Huntsville, and Crawdad's got a question for Jimbo. Go ahead, Crawdad. You're on the air.
Hey, good evening, Coach Eugene.
Hey, Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad.
Hey,
Wait a minute. Let me say something.
Just a quick comment and a question.
Always have.
The comment is, it sure was great to hear Coach Trickett was back today.
Yes.
That's super news. And if you could, I wanted to ask about Jalen Ramsey playing the star position.
Yep.
It looks like he's really starting to come into his own, especially when he's keeping leverage on the edge. Thanks so much, and go Noles.
It really is. I mean, Jalen is he's a very unique player in that he's a corner. He's a legit big-time corner, but he's a safety. But he can play those big receivers, and he can rush. He's physical. And that last play, I mean, he got blocked by a big line, and then he comes off, gets those long arms on the ball, tips the ball, caused that last interception. Jalen is an unbelievable athlete, and he's really emerging and understanding that position. That's why we didn't want to take him out of that position. I mean, we could put some other guys in there, movement safety, but Jalen can cause so much havoc, blitzing, playing bigger receivers in the slot, bigger tight ends. And I thought Jalen played one of his best overall football games he's played since he's been at Florida State the other night in that game, and was very instrumental in us making – because I thought the second half, they had the opening drive, but other than that, the defense played extremely well in that second half, the third and fourth quarters, and he was a huge part of that.
Okay, Crawdad, I hear some chickens or a turkey or two in the background.
Crawdad, though,
From
you can't be from
Huntsville.
Huntsville. Crawdad, you got to be from Louisiana.
Yeah.
You can't live in Huntsville and be Crawdad now. You got to get down to Louisiana. I know that for a fact.
All right, and the first comment, he said they're glad to hear that Coach Rick Trickett
Yes, it
was
is.
back on the job. And
All you had to do
a
was just
scare-
listen.
Yeah,
All you had to do was just listen today. You'd have heard it.
practice. That was quite a scare at the team hotel the night before the game.
Well,
correct?
it was, and he woke up the next morning. He'd been having some pains, and he told our trainer that he needed an aspirin or something. And Trick's a tough guy, and he works out. He thought maybe just pulled something, had some tightness in his chest, and for a couple of days, and that morning, and he got to Jake, and Jake said, "No, we need to go in." And they, looked at him, and he had some things, but he did a stress test today on the treadmill, and the doctor said blew it away. I mean, he's healthy as a horse. I mean, he did really well. It was great. No stents. He's going to be great.
Welcome back, Rick Trickett, Coach Rick Trickett. Knowles fans, register online at knowlescontest.com for the chance to be the official photographer of the game. Winners get pregame hospitality, game tickets, and more. The exclusive opportunity to be our photographer of the game is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Get the membership advantage. The Jimbo Fisher Call-In Show, presented by Napleton Infinity, live from the 4 Points by Sheridan, will continue after these messages.